Hi, my name is Amanda. Today, I'd like to go over with you one example of Bible scripture which is commonly taken out of context regarding Peter's vision. So, can you turn to Acts chapter 10, verse 9 through 28. Acts chapter 10, verse 9 through 28. And many use this scripture to justify not following the dietary law. Many say that Peter's vision represents that you can eat anything you want. But is that true? So let's read for ourselves and find out. Okay? And I'll be reading from the NIV version of the Bible. Afternoon, the following day, as they were on their journey and approaching the city, Peter went up on the roof to pray. He became hungry and wanted something to eat. And while the meal was being prepared, he fell into a trance. He saw heaven open and something like a large sheet being let down to the earth by its four corners. It contained all kinds of four-footed animals, as well as reptiles of the earth and birds of the air. Then a voice told him, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat." "Surely not, Lord," Peter replied. "I have never eaten anything impure or unclean." So take note here. Peter has seen a vision, all types of animals. They were unclean animals that he saw, clean and unclean. He heard a voice that said, "Get up, Peter, go eat." Right here, Peter is proclaiming, I have always followed the dietary law. That is what he's saying. I have never eaten anything impure. It's also important to note that this is after the death of Christ. So this verse 14, shows you that Peter, the disciple, was still following the dietary law. That's why he said what he said. Okay. I'm going to move on with 15. The voice spoke to him a second time. "Do not call anything impure that God has made clean." Now, verse 15 is the verse that many use to justify saying that right here, this says you can eat anything you want to eat. And that's an untruth. That's not true. That's not what this means, but we're going to let this scripture lead us to the truth. Okay, 16. This happened 3 times, and immediately the sheet was taken back to heaven. While Peter was wondering about the vision, the meaning of the vision, so he's pondering, what does this mean? He's like, I'm seeing all these clean and unclean animals. I know I'm not supposed to eat anything unclean. What could this dream possibly mean? Okay, 17, while Peter was wondering about the meaning of the vision, the men sent by Cornelius found out where Simon's house was and stopped at the gate. They called out, asking if Simon, who was known as Peter, was staying there. While Peter was still thinking about the vision, the Spirit said to him, "Simon, 3 men are looking for you, so get up and go downstairs. Do not hesitate to go with them, for I have sent them." Peter went down and said to the men, "I'm the one that you're looking for. Why have you come?" The men replied, "We have come from Cornelius, the centurion. He is a righteous and God-fearing man who is respected by all the Jewish people. A holy angel told him to have you come to his house so that he could hear what you have to say." Then Peter invited the men into the house to be his guests. The next day, Peter started out with them, and some of the brothers from Joppa went along. The following day, he arrived in Caesarea. Cornelius was expecting them, and he called together his relatives and close friends. As Peter entered the house, Cornelius met him and fell at his feet in reverence. But Peter made him get up. "Stand up," he said. "I am only a man myself." Talking with him, Peter went inside and found a large gathering of people. I'm on 28 now. He said to them, "You are well aware that it is against our law for a Jew to associate with a Gentile or visit him." Now, right here, Peter is saying this because at that time, the Jewish people did not associate with the Gentiles because the Gentiles were considered unclean people. That's why he's saying this. Okay. But God has shown me. Peter is about to tell you what that dream represented. Did it represent that you can eat anything you want to eat, or did it represent something else? Okay. Peter is saying, but God has shown me that I should not call any man impure or unclean. So it's not about animals. He figured it out. God was using unclean animals to symbolize mankind, the Gentiles, because the Gentiles were considered impure and unclean. But now, as he says, God has shown me that I should not call any man impure or unclean. So when I was sent for, I came without raising any objection. May I ask why you sent for me? Okay, so this is not about eating whatever you want. So if someone uses these scriptures to say this justify you eating whatever you want, you don't have to follow the dietary law. That's a misuse of the scripture. What this is about the Gentiles now have salvation. They are no longer considered unclean. So now the disciples will start preaching the gospel to the Gentiles. It starts right here with Peter's dream. So now I hope you have a better understanding of these Bible verses. Okay. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day.